From the profile picture out of my old deleted channel, you can tell that Musashi Miyamoto is my favorite character in probably all of manga. And I thought to celebrate his existence of killing hundreds of people and catching flies with chopsticks, I want to count down the top 10 moments of his life. Not counting everything where he wasn't alive, so nothing with Nomi and no Hanayama vs Yujiro, for example. Number 10. Goki dropping Musashi. It's just nice to see Goki finally doing something. That what made this moment really great is what Goki said while doing it. That he avenges Retsu. Scenes like this are far and few between, but make it seem like all the characters actually have lives besides fighting, killing and training, and sometimes meet friends, go out on a drink, or do something else. And Retsu and Goki on screen never really had a scene as far as I can remember, so this implies that all of these characters off screen do stuff together, which is really exciting, and I'm happy to notice that. Number 9. Yujiro sexually forcing Hillary Clinton. Just for the meme factor alone. What also helps is that Hillary knew Amy Akisawa, what is interesting yet again, because it entertains the idea that all of the characters have a private life, have friends and are interconnected. Number 8. Yujiro nutshotting Musashi. While the whole fight in general was the most underwhelming in all of Baki Dou for me, Yujiro doing this is still probably one of the greatest attacks in all of Baki. It's also the first time Musashi had to lose his swords and also shows his durability, since after this attack, which Aaron Wheeland, this guy who was just disappeared from YouTube like I did a couple of weeks ago, made this video explaining how this feels, and yeah, kind of funny, and it's probably the feeling you have while being kicked, but Musashi still stood up, which is showing his durability. Number 7. Pickle stopping Musashi's blade. While the Pickle fight also had been kind of disappointing for me, it had a lot of great moments. The best being right at the beginning, where Musashi wanted to slash Pickle right in half, but the sword only gone down a few centimeters. And after that, Pickle countered with a punch, and it looks like Musashi taken some serious damage. But nope. The fight goes down really fast, downhill for Pickle, since Musashi basically took a no damage. He has a bruise on his face. That's it. He basically acts the same, so this is something that bothers me in this fight, that Pickle seems so weak. Number 6. Musashi thinking about Retsu. This is the place in the story where Musashi is the most hype for me in all of Baki Dou. Taking the whole fight with Retsu in consideration, Musashi is asked to say if Retsu was stronger than his greatest rival Sasaki. Sasaki is known as the hardest opponent Musashi ever had to face in his prior life, and so Musashi thinks, he thinks for a couple of pages and he thinks it over, until finally coming to a conclusion. He forgot about Sasaki. Tokugawa is confused, as Sasaki is known as the really tough opponent Musashi had to face, but for Musashi it was just an ordinary battle he quickly forgot about. This means, as up until now Musashi never had a serious one-on-one duel in his whole life. Number 5. Baki killing Musashi. More than the actual death, I like the dialogue they have right before that. That Musashi talks about how he will rise up this new era by cutting, and Baki just says that it's too bad because it won't happen, because in a minute or two you will be dead. Some top tier dialogue right here. Number 4. Motobe making Musashi faint. This is a moment I didn't believe actually was happening when I read it the first time. The encounter of the two was built up for many volumes, and when it finally happened I still seemed like Motobe didn't have a chance. But it just goes to show how far dirty play can bring you, as Motobe did the most damage to Musashi in the entire series, and given him permanent damage in the form of his scar. He also damaged his feet, trying to poison him, broken his nose and teeth, blowed him up and eventually choked him into losing consciousness. While Musashi never fought seriously, it was still quite a feat that Motobe, while almost being killed, managed to do that. Number 3. Hanayama nearly killing Musashi. After the long but enjoyable killing spree Musashi went on after his semi-defeat against Motobe, they hired the boy Hanayama to stop the genocider. While it seems weird making Hanayama fight Musashi so late in the game and to a deathmatch, the fight is the most crammed of badass moments in all of Baki Dou. And Musashi is nearly killed out of a foolish misjudgment from Musashi, which is really exciting. And if Musashi didn't have that smoke bomb, what was cheating, he might have actually died in this moment. Number 2. Retsu's death. Yet again, this is here because of the sheer shock factor of this actually happening. Never before in Baki did a main character die permanently and in such a way. Extremely cool, quick, technical, but really dramatic. Something that disappointed me was how his death was received. I thought at least Katsumi and Baki would be crying, but they just were really quiet and in the background, and just Tokugawa and Kako were talking, which is respectfully but a little cold from Katsumi. And the glorious number 1, Baki protecting Hanayama and declaring to murder Musashi. And at number 1, a little weird, but this was really cool that Baki just stepped in the last second to protect Hanayama, and it was so sudden. I really loved it. It could have been drawn a little better, but still really cool. Not only mocking Musashi, but at the same time protecting his best friend. Really epic, and in all of Baki Dou, this is my favorite moment, and maybe in the entirety of Baki, but I think this goes to scenes with Yujiro and Baki. And if the actual fight against Musashi and Baki would have been as cool as this little encounter, this maybe would have been the best final fight in all of Baki, since the Yujiro's Baki fight was a little too long for my taste. And there's that. I want to make this for every little arc, but I'm kind of really lazy. This is the short answer. Tell me your favorite moments down below, and I want to ask you if you would smash or pass the glory that is Musashi.